Okay, so I wanted to do a video post about how millennials are screwed. They are screwed over by their parents, by guidance counselors, by the past generation of people that have basically lied to them and told them whatever they wanted to hear. Basically, if you look up millennial debt load, they have a very high student loan debt that was perpetrated by the cost of education because everyone had to go to school, which drove up the price of college. They're screwed in terms of retirement. If you don't have money to put into your student loan debt or into savings, then you can't save for retirement, especially if you have student loans. It's just a clusterfuck. And even if you didn't have student loans, you're still stuck with likely a worthless degree, or at least with very high costs that you wouldn't be able to save for retirement in an unstable job market. Basically, the only thing to do for millennials, or what they should do, is to try to stay out of debt as much as possible. I currently am in zero debt. I have no debt, and I don't think I will ever go into debt, even for a house. I would rather rent and be debt free than to have loans and to have a house, because I would also have to pay interest on it. Anyways, a lot of students are told that they need to go to college, they need to go buy a house, they need to do all of these great things like buy a car, which also is about the cost of a college degree in many cases, depending on the type of car that you buy. Anyways, it's just millennials are pretty much screwed. You're in a good position, frankly, if you're under 30 and you have no debt and you have a job. That's pretty much how sad it is. If you have no debt, you have a job, and you're saving a little bit of money each month, you're doing better than the vast majority of millennials. Basically, we are screwed. Average debt millennial. The fact that there are average debt figures should say something. If people are forced to buy everything with 13 or with 100% down, 100%, including a house, a car, an education, clothes, rent, no credit cards, you would see how poor our country actually is. The average debt in 2017 is $39,400, according to Student Loan Hero. We have $1.48 trillion in student loan debt. I assume this is in 2017. It's probably gone up since then. 44.2 million of student loan debt. That is very, very bad. Student loan delinquency ratio of 11.2%. That's also very bad. And a monthly student loan payment of $351. That's a large chunk of rent for most places. If you're living in middle America, just a non-major city, like if you're not on the coast, that's half of your rent payment going towards your student loans. And that's for 10, 15 years left of their student loans. Education, it is clear, is not there for the student. It is there for the lenders, professors, and everyone who makes this racket going on. It is obviously there for them, not because the students benefit from it. Some do if they don't have debt. Graduate student loan debt, so this is the amount of student loan debt if you have a graduate degree. my God, if you have 50 grand for Master's of Education, you're fucked. Same with law. Law has a very, very high unemployment rate now. We have a flood of lawyers. Just, there's no end in sight, it seems, to how much debt people have. They just love getting in debt. If they just did nothing else besides save money, stay out of debt, and live within your means, you do better than so many Americans. I don't have that much money in savings. I have about $4,000. I have a paid-for car. And it's not a new car. It's a good car. It's not a new car. Just an old Civic. Well, yeah, because you lie to them saying that you need a new house, you need a new car, you need to go to college. If you don't do those things, then chances are you won't ever have to borrow money, and you don't need credit. Except, of course, unless you have medical debt, then that's one thing, but just, yeah, millennials are pretty screwed. I don't see a way for them to crawl out of this mess. On the average, they're debt-ridden. They have vehicle loans, they have credit card debt, and some of them have house debt, but a large majority of millennials do not have houses because they're renters. Just stay out of debt, millennials. Stay out of debt, and people, generations after us. I'm sad to have been lumped into this group.